The following is paid programming.
It's time to talk taxes.
New friends, new opportunities, new partners. EG Tax.
It's Ask the Tax Lady with Esther Gulius and EG Tax on News Radio 930 WBEN. To reach Esther now, call 803-0930. Toll free at 1-800-616-9236. And cell calls are free at star 930. And now, live from the WBEN studios, it's Esther Gulius.
Hey, everybody, this is the Tax Lady. And it's getting close to that time. A little chilly outside. Leaves are falling. You know, it's going to be snowing. What does that remind you of? Tax time. Yeah, anyway, we got a little less than 2 months to go. We're going to talk about things that you can do to reduce your tax liability, maybe get some extra money for the holidays. And I'm joined in studio with my buddies, Tiffany Fabian. Hey, Tiff.
Hey, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to you. And Christopher Fabian.
Hello, Esther.
Hello, Christopher. Okay, so 8030930, 8030930. Star 930 on a cell phone. You can text us at 716-803-0930. Love to help you with any questions you might have, whether you're getting letters from the IRS, from New York State, haven't gotten your refund, haven't filed your return, owe a bunch of money that you can't pay, and so on and so forth. And, with all of that, with people getting ready for retirement, next Saturday's the Ready, Set, Retire seminar, right?
Yep. That's at the Financial Guys, and it's a great opportunity to learn what you need to do to retire from A to Z. We're going to have insurance
and you don't have to
brokers.
You don't have to be ready to retire. I mean, you can be 40 and thinking about, how to get there, right?
Yep, that's right. Yep, good point. Yep, so insurance brokers, financial brokers, lawyers, us, we're going to be there. And so the gang will all be there, and we'll have a great time. If you want to register, call 632-7886, or you can go to egtax.com and register that way, or you can call 633-1515 and call the Fin Guys.
How do they still have some openings?
They do. Do you know how many, Chris?
I do not know that.
Yeah.
But we're getting close to being full. So this will be the third one, I think, that we've done, our fourth, and everybody just loves it. It's like the taste of retirement, if it were, if you compare it to the taste of Buffalo.
Breakout sessions where you can meet one-on-one with the person.
For free.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
So and I don't think that, and if you're worried about feeling like you're going to be pressured to start using any particular business, that's really not the goal at all.
No.
It's absolutely to help you.
No, completely
And the other thing is, it isn't just retirement. It's almost like elder planning too. Like, for instance, should you gift your home? Should you put your name on the title to the family home? Is there a better way to do that? What if I wanted to plan for Medicare and Medicaid going into a nursing home? That's all part of what will be at that seminar.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
And even is there a financial planning person for college?
I believe they're going to be there
Their
too.
team
So-
member.
And Social Security strategists and all that kind
Correct.
of stuff. So, I mean, it's certainly, I think it's 4 hours, and it's certainly worth your time, and it's next Saturday.
That's right, which is the 11th. And so we would love to have you come. Call 632-7886, and we'll get you registered.
All right. And in the meantime, I just can't get over it that we're so close to Thanksgiving already. And because Thanksgiving's early this year, right?
It is.
So,
And this weekend we have
and so that
change our
means-
clocks.
And you're changing your clocks back tonight. So, thinking about the holidays and where to come up with the money. And so many times people go into debt, use their charge cards for Christmas and holidays, and then they are stuck and have to pay those charge cards off, and they
Sorry.
and they have to get their tax refund done right away, and it just ends up to be a circular
and,
motion,
and
right?
now credit card interest rates are really, really high. And so if you don't have to use the credit cards for Christmas time, that's always beneficial because the rates are just
That's
so
for sure.
high.
So anyway, we're kind of going to talk about things that you can do. And again, any comments, questions, problems you have, 8030930, 8030930, 930, star 930 on a cell phone, 716-8030930 is our text line. First thing I put in our how to make ends meet for the holidays, and actually, so you don't have to use your tax refund to pay off the charge cards, is change your W-4 at work. We've said this year after year after year. Why is that important?
So too often people are claiming too much, and so they have this huge refund at the end of the year. And so if you have kids or you have kids in childcare, or if you're giving money to 401ks, maybe you're over withholding. You have a house, and so you should alter your W-4 so you're not paying so much.
But you
And
guys
Chris
know
had something to say.
how many times do people say, "But I need that big refund to pay off my charge cards," right? But the reason you have charge cards is because you have the big refund because the money
You don't have the money during the year.
right. Right.
So-
explain that, Chris.
So you get a $5,000 refund. Hey, that sounds great. But if that's $5,000 or you could have had in each, throughout the year in each paycheck. So if you figure that's almost an extra
$400,
$400 a month. If you get paid weekly, an extra
$100
Right.
a pay, right?
Right. So you could have that weekly. So you may not get that huge refund, but you're not going into debt trying to get that big
Absolutely.
refund.
And not to mention, they've already withheld for the majority of the year, so there's only 2 months left of the
Right.
year.
And so if you need extra money, if you're looking at your Christmas budget and you want to spend X amount of dollars, the first place I would go is to my W-4 and change it. And if you need help with that, we will help you.
Yeah.
All right. We have a first caller. We have Tom in Amherst. Hi, Tom. How can we help you?
Hi, I'm in a query right now with the IRS. I received a letter from them that about 5-6 years ago I had a vehicle repossessed after I lost my job, and they sold. I guess they take it to auction, and they sold it, and what was left over, they were coming after me for it, and the letter stopped a long time ago. And all of a sudden, I got a letter from the IRS that they added that $8,000 difference to my income this year or last year.
Right.
And now they say I owe them $2,000 in taxes.
Okay, so let me explain to you, and this is for everybody that are getting letters. What happens is you file a tax return based upon everything you know, and at the same time, the IRS is getting forms in, and they compare the two, and that's what happened with Tom. So you had a debt cancellation. Cancellation of debt is taxable many times, but there may be a way out. Can I ask you some questions?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
At the time of the repossession of the car and the default, did you have assets that you could have sold to pay that? Like, for instance, did you have equity in your home? Did you have a pension
No.
plan at work that you could have
No,
cashed in?
I'm a large family. We live paycheck to paycheck.
So you had no assets, you don't own a home, you don't have a pension plan, nothing like that. So at the time when the debt was canceled, for all intents and purposes, you were insolvent. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So we can do a form to get rid of that income, and the name of and the form number, you guys?
982.
A 982.
A 982 form, and basically what you say to the IRS is, I was insolvent, it's not taxable, we'll file that back with the IRS, and the liability will be waived.
And it'll also be taken care of for New York State as well.
Right.
Okay, so it just come to your office, one
Yep.
of your offices?
Come on down. We're at 1890 Colvin Boulevard in Tonawanda. Bring that letter, and we'll sit down and make sure that you were insolvent. We'll do the form and correspond with the IRS
And you
for
won't pay any tax on it,
And you
Tom.
won't pay anything.
Thank you, ladies.
Okay?
And gentlemen.
All right. Thanks for calling.
I was just telling
Bye-bye.
her there's a text.
Yeah, so, and that's just part of what happens in the tax law, right?
Right.
All right. Okay, we got to take a short break.
Oh,
I'm Esther Gilius, the tax lady from EG Tax. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back on the other side with your comments, questions, and calls.
The bills make me wanna shout. Kick your heels up and shout. Throw your hands up and shout.
Well,
Throw your head back and shout.
The Bills are on tomorrow, right, guys?
Tomorrow night.
Yep. And, of course, we hope that they win. That's for sure. Anyway, I'm Esther Gilius, the tax lady from EG Tax, with Christopher Fabian, Tiffany Fabian. We're answering your questions. If you are getting any love letters, you got questions, we got a little less than 2 months to go before the end of tax season, and we're kind of talking about things to make ends meet here today. But I'm going to go to the phone here and talk to Gina. Hi, Gina. How can I help you?
Okay. So I have a pension that they stopped our pension. I've been working for this company for over 30 years, but they stopped the pension in 2008. It was just a small one. And then I guess somebody, I don't know if you call it buy it out. And so they sent me a letter telling me that I have a couple options. I could either take a lump sum, do an annuity, or I guess an IRA.
Okay.
And I don't know what to do.
Okay, so here's the thing. Your pension plan, either you can take it, and if you take all the money, it's going to be fully taxable. Or you can take the money and not touch it, roll it over into an individual retirement account, which will make it tax-free. Or you can annuitize it and take a little bit each year until it's all used up. So it all just depends on, do you need the money?
No.
All right. So I would suggest that you just take the money and roll it over into an IRA, and that way it's not taxable, and you just let it continue to grow until you're 73, and at that point in time they're going to make you start withdrawing it, but in the meantime it'll grow completely tax deferred.
But let's just say I'm 73 and I start taking some out. I get taxed on it then, right?
Right. But it's a little bit at a time. The divisor, once you're 73, and it may be 75 by the time you start taking it, is 27.5. So if you rolled over $50,000, your distribution is only going to be like $2,000. So it's really the best way to handle it. If you take the whole thing, it's all going to be completely taxable. Okay?
That makes sense. Thank you.
All right,
so much.
Gina, thanks for calling. Okay, so we have a text too. You want to do the text?
It says, I contribute to a TSP with a federal job, and I also do a simple IRA through a side business. I was told there is a maximum combined contribution I can make, but don't know the limit. I'm in my 60s, so I would wonder if this person is married or not.
Right, because there is a limit that you can put into an IRA if you have another qualified plan, which you obviously do. If you're single, the amount that you could have in wages is lower than if you're married filing a joint return. But I can tell you this, that even if you were at that limit, I would move from a simple IRA because you're self-employed, to an SEP. There is no limit when you have an SEP from your self-employment.
There's no limit, but there is a cap to basically 20% of your net profit.
Yeah,
so
but what I meant was they would qualify. In other words, you may not qualify for an IRA anymore, but you would qualify for an SEP.
Right. And a single person for 2023, the cutoff is 73. It starts phasing out at 73,000, totally phased out at 83 for an IRA. A traditional married joint starts cutting off at 116 and totally phased out at 136 if you're covered.
So if you have a qualified pension plan at work, which you do, and those income thresholds you exceed, then you can't use an IRA anymore. You'd have to move to an SEP. But it's still going to be a way for you to shelter money.
Yeah.
Right. But if you're married and your wife's not working, you could always contribute to her IRA.
She'll draw off your wages.
Right. So here's the thing. You could actually contribute to your wife's IRA and do an SEP on your self-employment. So there's a lot of things you could do.
Yeah, and I was also thinking about a solo 401k. So there's lots of options out
Right,
there.
absolutely right. And I will tell you, if you want to talk about that because you want to put as much money into your pension plan as possible, looking at being 60, maybe looking at retirement, give EG Tax a call. We're happy to help you to plan for that. Right?
That's right.
And the other thing is, a lot of people don't know that regardless of your age, you can still contribute to an IRA, assuming you aren't working anymore. So you might be 80 still working, and you can still put money into an IRA.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. How
They changed that. They changed that about 5 or 6 years ago, and that was a really good change.
That was a good change.
That was a great change.
Let's say you're looking at the holidays and you're wondering where to get money. Another place to get it is, and again, I would not recommend that you do it, but if you are between a rock and a hard place, you can also borrow from your pension plan, right?
That's
so
right.
at least you're paying yourself back, and borrowed money's not taxable.
Yeah, that's right. So it's always better if you contact your human resources and you find out about borrowing and then paying yourself back. And the nice thing is the interest is you paying yourself the interest, which is a really nice thing.
Right. So if you absolutely need the money and you're thinking of putting on a charge card, I would suggest you take a look at borrowing for the necessities using your pension plan, and you have to pay yourself back within 5 years. But then it's tax-free. Think about, when you're using that credit card, and it can be like 30% interest. I mean, 30% interest, it's horrible.
It's staggering.
Yeah, that's loan sharking, but they don't go after credit card companies.
That's true. And I think about some of these credit card companies like Capital One and everything. They're paying 5% when you put it in their bank, Capital One Bank,
Yeah.
but 30% if you put it on a charge card. Okay, let's go to Paul. Hi, Paul. How can we help you, sir?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good. I'm a customer of yours.
Thank you.
I've dealt with Chris a couple times. I have two questions. One is, my sister passed away, and I had inherited her 401k.
Okay.
Now, how do I take that out? Because you know what they're doing to me? She was taking out $250 a month, and they're taking out the $250 a month and putting in her checking account now, and I can't get in her checking account.
You mean they're still putting $250 in her checking account?
Yeah.
Did you let the bank know that she's passed away?
I didn't, but the bank doesn't seem to get it.
All right. Did you let the employer know, or the pension fund manager that she passed away?
Well, when she passed away, I called up and told them, and I sent a death certificate and everything else to stop this, and they're still doing it. I don't know what to do. I called them 3 times about it.
Who is it who's providing her the monthly income?
M&T Securities.
M&T Securities. And well, I would march down to the bank with her death certificate. You're her executor, right? And you're the beneficiary?
Yes.
And I would talk to the
It's
bank.
already been changed on it, you know what I mean?
Pardon me?
Christy,
I've
is
already
Bill
been
still
changed
working?
to it.
Noski
She
at
was
the bank
alive.
now.
I would, and then I would ask to talk to the manager, and because it should no longer be put in her checking account. As a matter of fact, her checking account should be closed and frozen, and ultimately you're going to get the money, but somebody's got to get a handle on it. And sometimes the only way you can get somebody's attention, it's a sad thing to say, but it is true. Customer service is not so good many times at businesses, and I would ask to talk to the manager.
And this is an IRA or a stock account?
IRA with stocks
Okay.
attached to it,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I would do. I'd call the bank, make an appointment with the bank manager, but and bring down a copy of the will, her death certificate, and they should stop. If not, then obviously you got to go to your attorney. But I wouldn't want to do that because it's going to cost you money.
You know, they told me I should probate it, and I get it done.
Probate it.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she have a beneficiary on it?
He is.
I'm the beneficiary.
He's a beneficiary.
It shouldn't
So
have to
it's
go to
absolutely
probate.
wrong.
Yeah, it
It's
shouldn't have to
absolutely
go to
wrong.
probate.
When did she pass, Paul?
About 2 years ago, and they was taking $250.
What?
Yeah, and I called them. Like I said, I tried 3 times. I called them I sent them the paperwork 3 different times to tell them this stuff, and then nobody gets it.
Okay, look at, but you're in Hamburg. I was going to say, if you wanted to take a little ride up to Tonawanda, because our corporate headquarters is there, we'll make the call for you. Because
come there.
we
Anytime
happen
you want. I know
to bank
do the work.
we happen to bank with M&T, and we have some people that we could talk to directly that could help, because obviously they don't get it, because they would not be continuing to do this. This is wrong, and the account should be stopped. So, we're happy to help you. There's no charge, Paul.
They said they don't do that.
Who doesn't do that?
The bank
They don't do what?
charge it back to her account.
No,
again,
it's got to be fleshed out now. It's got to go through probate, depending upon what
But if
they're
he's
doing.
listed as the beneficiary,
gotten it.
you should have gotten it.
But he's ultimately going to be able to get her account. He's the beneficiary. I mean, ultimately he'll get the money.
You see, the thing is, I can't put it through probate because he's got too much money outstanding, and I can't do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
but
shouldn't
here's
have to
the
if there's
thing.
a beneficiary.
It's not right that it's going into her checking account. That account should be closed. And if you want, come on down. We'll make the calls for you.
I appreciate that. I'll be
All
there.
right, Paul. Talk to you
Another
later.
question. What do I do with now? If I get it in mine, and how do I do that? Just put it in my IRA? IRA?
Well, no. I mean, that money's already been deposited. So I'm assuming they probably have been issuing 1099s for that. I don't know. We have to find out. I don't know what's going to happen, because it all depends on how they're going to unscrew the spaghetti.
All right.
All right. Talk to you later. Thank you for calling. I'm Esther Galias, the tax lady from EG Tax. We're going to take a short break for the news, and we'll talk to you on the other side.
The bills make me wanna shout. Kick your heels up and shout. Throw your hands up and shout. Throw your head back and shout. Come on now. The
Boy,
bills
I'm telling you, I hope they win tomorrow, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
And you know how I watch the game.
Don't watch the game.
I don't watch the game. I'm too afraid, because I love them. Okay, I'm Esther Galias, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. You can text us at 716-8030930. And don't forget, next Saturday is the Ready, Set, Retire seminar at the Financial Guys, and I think you would love it. It's absolutely a free service of both of our companies, right?
Yep, lots of experts, lots of knowledge, and great opportunity.
All right. Now, again, some suggestions here, because the holidays are coming fast at us. What you can do to get some extra money.
Laugh. That's all the advertisement you see right now, our Christmas.
I know. Isn't that the truth? All right. So another thing is sell unused items to create cash. The great part about that is most items that you would sell, you would be selling at a loss. Right?
Correct. So-
Like maybe a boat, car, RV, household items. And the great thing is that creates cash. And that's good, because that won't be taxable because you're selling something at a loss. However, if you have a third party pay, what can happen?
They can issue you a 1099 at the end of the year, especially, obviously, if it's over $600, the total
Right.
for the year.
So that's something you really got to watch out for. If you're like selling bills tickets, or you're selling household goods and people are paying you with Venmo or PayPal, if it exceeds $600, they're going to send you a 1099-K. Now, that's got to go on your 2023 tax return, even though it might not be taxable. And so you want to make sure that you are able to list the income on one section and the loss on another section, so that it offsets it, so it ends up not being taxable if you're selling something that isn't at a gain.
That's right.
Correct.
So 1099-Ks are coming down the pike, and if you need help with that, you can call us at EG Tax. We'll tell you how to get ready for that.
I know we were with my daughter earlier, and she's like, geez, I wish I had another ATV to sell, because a few years ago, or a year ago, she sold her four-wheeler, and she didn't make a profit, but she
got some cash.
She got and mom and dad paid for it, so she did okay.
Right. Well, that's the whole thing is, you look around your house and there's valuable assets that you're probably not using.
Yeah.
And again, you would like some extra tax-free money.
That's
look
right.
around your house and sell it.
Exactly. Yeah, now's a great opportunity.
Another thing, take your broken gold and turn it into cash.
Yep.
Right? You might have 2 earrings and one of them's missing. You can't wear one earring, and take it down and get cash for it
Correct.
because it's tax free. Get a part-time job during the holidays. If you get a part-time job, what should somebody do with their W-4?
Tell them to make sure they have extra withholding.
Right, because why?
Because that income gets added to your other income on your tax return. But when they do the withholding for that job, they only look at that job's withholding.
Right. So if you got a little part-time job where you're going to make $1,000 in a month, they look at that 1,000 and think, oh, this poor person, we aren't going to pay taxes, so we'll withhold nothing. But they don't know that you make $80,000 at your second job. So you want to make sure that they're withholding at the rate of the 2 together, not just the part-time job.
Yep, that's right. Because otherwise, I know somebody called Chris the other day, and she has a part-time job, and they weren't they weren't withholding like anything, right?
Right. She had no clue, and
that was your family member.
Oh, yes.
Family member.
Okay. And another thing you could do to make ends meet during the holidays is become self-employed. Now, this makes it more complicated as far as a tax situation because the income less your expenses are going to be taxed at your tax rate plus FICA.
Correct.
Right? So you could end up paying 15.3% in FICA, and if you're in the 12% bracket, 12% in taxes, and 4% in New York State. So you want to make sure that you don't get caught with your pants down, so to speak, from a tax standpoint, if you do become self-employed. Again, you can call us and we'll help you so that you can know how much to set aside. But here's some great things that you can do. You can use Craigslist, which is a free way of advertising, right?
Yep.
To offer services like house cleaning, basement cleanup, handy person, daycare, Uber, Lyft, Instacart, all those you can just kind of drop in, do it, and pick up extra money.
I know I was with you earlier today, and one of your clients called you who's starting a self-employment business. And what advice did you give him?
I told him to make sure you keep track of all of your expenses
Yep.
for that. And maybe look at putting money into a pension plan because
Correct.
He doesn't have a pension plan at work. And then the other thing is he's got to get his New York State sales taxes,
Yep.
which is really, really, really important. If you're selling assets in New York State for a profit, then you have to not even at a profit. If you're selling assets, you have to pay New York State their sales tax.
Yep. And you said to give us a call and talk to Maria on Monday.
Right,
and
so that
she could
so that
set
we
you
can
up.
help you up. So, okay, another thing is cut your expenses if you're trying to make ends meet. For instance, stop buying Starbucks, what are they called?
Frappuccinos.
And lattes, and something as simple as just cutting that down at $5 a day is like $150 in a month, and take that to pay down credit cards.
That's right. Yeah, those high interest rate credit cards.
Being on a budget is not fun.
Nope.
But having bad credit and having huge charge cards are not fun either. And I will tell you, if you're somebody that's at the end of their rope and maybe you've made some bad financial decisions, one of the things that you can do, it's in our federal law, is that you might look at a bankruptcy.
Yep. On the break, Chris called Dennis Kitchen, and he specializes in bankruptcies. And so it's a great opportunity. You always say you're lugging around this ball and chain. We live in a country. I was with a client and I said, we don't live in a country where there's a debtor's prison. And so bankruptcy is a real option. It just sort of gives you a fresh start. So I just wanted to let you know that. You want to go to Joe or the text?
Yeah, well, actually, I'll talk to Joe first. All right. Hi, Joe. How can I help you?
Oh, hey, Esther. I love the show.
Thank you, sir.
You got me thinking for a minute there when you started talking about these people with these little small businesses and doing little side businesses. Okay, so technically, if a person has a business, like say I was talking to a guy, he's an RVer, okay?
Okay.
He started himself a YouTube channel. So he documents his travels. I travel here, I travel there. This is the place I stayed, so forth and so on. I'm driving this RV, and am I deducting the fuel? Am I because I'm running a business? If I'm documenting this,
A percentage.
Okay. All right. So there's a difference between a for-profit business where your whole thing is to make money and a hobby. Okay. Now the question would be are they getting income from the
The
from the
streaming,
video,
I think
the streaming?
so. I think so, from advertisers. Don't they get money from advertisers?
YouTube pays you after if you have a certain amount of subscribers.
How much is he getting paid?
I'm not
Varies.
exactly sure what he's getting paid, but the people with a lot of views, they can get. I think I was reading one time, like there was one person there's people that have millions of views, but
Yeah.
this person was at like 60,000 views, and somebody estimated 60,000 subscribers. So that documents like $3,000 a month.
Okay, so here's the thing. If this was his motivation, that he said, I'm going to make money doing a YouTube channel and I'm going to do it with this expertise, and that is his goal, and that's his bona fide business, and he wanted to make money, then yes, the cost of the gasoline, part of the RV, the depreciation on the RV, and all those expenses for where he's going would be deductible. And if he doesn't turn a profit in 2 years, the third year it would be the burden of proof would be on him to prove that he's trying to make money. But he actually could take those expenses and have a loss for the first 2 years, provided that his motivation, and remember, he has to prove his motivation, is to make money.
I see. And now, Esther, one question as far as a business. Do you just have to say, "Oh, go file a DBA"? Is that all you have to do?
No, I mean, there's all kinds of things depending upon your business structure. But in his situation, he might want to do an LLC. That'd be the least expensive way to go about his self-employment. The important thing for him to do, though, Joe, is he has to remember that if he gets the IRS knocking at his front door, everything has to be ordinary and necessary with the intent to make money. So if he's just going on vacation and he thinks he's going to pick up some spare change, then it's a hobby. But if he's really trying to make money, and this is what he's done, and he can prove what he's doing, then he'd be entitled to the expenses and actually could even produce a loss, but the loss is limited to the first 2 years that he started the business.
But if you're just doing a DBA, you just need a tax ID number, and you don't even need a tax ID number. You could use your social.
Right.
So sounds like worth a shot for a venture.
That's true.
Yep.
But I would suggest you call us first, Joe, so we can give you all the ins and outs. Okay. Hey, thanks for calling.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
I know I watch at night when I'm trying to fall asleep. I watch these two young Canadian couples, and they're in Canada, and they built a house in the wilderness, and now she's pregnant, and they just tape their whole life. And I know they do financially well doing it.
Well, again, it's, if
Nothing
people
venture,
are willing to
nothing
pay,
gain.
if you're trying to make money, then it's going to be deductible, provided it's ordinary and necessary, right?
Correct.
But I will tell you, I watch these guys that are making cabins in the woods out of nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just hooked on them.
Yeah.
And it's just a real life thing.
They're geniuses.
All right, I'm Esther Gulias, the tax lady from EG Tax, 8030930, 8030930, star 930 on a cell phone. You can text us at 716-8030930. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back on the other side.
The bills make me wanna kick your heels up and throw your hands up and throw your
All right, I'm Esther Gulias, the tax lady from EG Tax. We love the Bills, and we love Western New York. I will tell you, one of the saddest things I've ever been at was in Boston for your husband's birthday when we were together, right, Tiff? And the Bills lost.
Oh, yeah.
But everybody in Boston that day, we all had Bill's paraphernalia on, and they're going, "Oh, you guys are just gonna cream us."
Yeah.
Not.
They were very
Not.
kind.
Anyway,
They were very. I mean, they were very. When we lost, even we went out to dinner, and they were very apologetic.
they said we felt so bad for
and
you
they're
that
like,
you lost.
we
Yeah,
really.
right.
Boston was like, we really needed that one, and they were like apologetic. Very
Anyway,
kind.
I thought it was I liked the seafood in Boston, but the traffic is horrible. I mean, when you live here, you're used to going any place you want in a short period of time. And there it was. On my navigator screen, it would say you have to go 5 miles. 25 minutes. What? 5 miles, 25 minutes.
It was true,
anyway,
though.
It was a parking lot. The expressways were a parking lot.
And they
Anyway,
had lots
I
of
wanted
lights.
to tell you this too. We were talking about the video thing. I watch what these guys are called bushcraft builders, and they go into the woods with nothing, and I literally watch them build a little house out of nothing.
And they do a fireplace,
with a
bathroom,
fireplace, no
plumbing?
no bathroom,
No bathroom?
no bathroom.
Wow.
But so sometimes I watch these things for like 2 hours. I can't get up. Anyway. All right. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax. We got a text here, right?
We do. It says, you mentioned Venmo and selling personal items. I had a garage sale this year, and most payments were by Venmo. How am I supposed to put this on my tax
Okay.
return?
Well, dear, they're going to send you a 1099-K form.
It'll be okay.
And they're going to give you that form, and then you would then, I don't know if you're in the habit of having annual or weekly garage sales and you're picking up stuff that aren't personal items, but if you just sold personal items at a loss, then the 1099-K form is going to say how much you got. You would put that on the income sheet, and then on another part of the tax return, you list the expenses up to the income, and you say it was just selling personal items. And we'll have those form numbers as soon as the new tax forms come out. I don't have them yet.
Yeah.
Right, Chris?
Yep.
But there's
line 21 is where the income goes and the expenses go someplace else. But the bottom line is we'll tell you how to do it. Right now the form's not out, so I can't give you the exact lines.
But she's going to be okay.
You'll be
'cause
fine.
I'm sure that you didn't sell any of those things at a profit. For instance, if you had a wheelbarrow and you sold it for 10, but you originally paid 100 for it, you're going to be okay.
Right. You're not allowed to take the loss because it's personal expenses. All right, we're going to go to Claudia. Hi, Claudia. How are you?
I'm fine, Esther, and thank you for taking the call.
Yeah, what can I do for you?
Maximum amount of money I can gift to a grandchild.
Okay, well, before you have to do a gift tax return, it's $17,000. But you can gift away a lot more money than that, and then you just file a gift tax return, which then puts the IRS on notice that you gave away some money over the annual exclusion, and it's $17,000 per person per year, by the way, and unless your estate is approaching $14 million, you're not going to have to pay any taxes on it anyway.
No.
But it's kind of just a nuisance return to keep track of the money that you gave over 17. So if you don't want to do the gift tax return, limit it to 17. But you think about it right now, $17,000 you could give before the end of the year, and on January 1st you could give another 17.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Thanks, Esther. Thank you so much.
All right, Claudia. Thanks for
Bye.
calling. Yeah, so that's another way to do it, right?
Just make sure, and this is what I always check with all my seniors who want to gift it away. Where is the money coming from? Because if it's coming from a checking or savings account, that's great. There is no tax. But if you're pulling it from your IRA, your 401k, that's a different story.
Right, but what she was talking about is a gift tax return. But what Chris is saying is that if you're taking it from a taxable entity, you're going to pay income tax on it, not gift tax.
Yeah. So, for instance, Claudia, who just called, she might not have to usually file a return, but if she took it from an IRA for a gift, it might push her into the limit of having to file.
And might make her pay taxes on her Social Security as well.
Correct.
All right, other things to do to make ends meet. I know this is a lovely thing, but agree on deductible Christmas gifts such as exterior doors, windows, hot water heater, and furnace, because then you'd get the energy credit. Could save you $1,200.
Correct.
Right? So this would be the gift that keeps on giving kind of thing.
That's right. That's right.
So that's another thing you can do. Okay, and then we got another text here, right?
Yeah, it says, oh boy, oh gosh, maybe I'm 2 minutes ago. Where am I at now?
Oh.
Wow, tree houses.
Is that like
tree houses? They're talking about tree houses. Those guys that build structures out in the middle of nowhere, there's no plumbing for toilets, but they typically do a compost and a toilet. Also, the guys now that build the tree houses and the other professionals that they usually what they're doing as well. I absolutely hate it to help them keep track of Facebook Marketplace now. If you go to sell anything at the end of keeping track of it and you send it, you give me a form in the mail. Maybe
What?
Maybe
it sounds like you're talking like a foreign language, Tip.
Can you read this, Chris?
No, it's so confusing.
Maybe New York State could
broke
learn.
this long text into 7 different texts, and you got to piece them together.
Maybe New York State can learn how to budget properly and quit squandering our precious tax dollars on useless projects that they don't have to. The citizens left right in order to fund their schemes along with actual important stuff.
So that's political, but the bottom line is, remember, you have power because you can vote those people out.
Tuesday.
But Tuesday is election day, and if you're not happy, you have to show you're unhappy by going to the polls.
And then this is a different text. It says, I retired in May. I'm 75 years old. I have both a 401k and a pension. I believe I can defer 2 of my required minimum distributions on my 401k, but I am told by Fidelity that I should roll the pensions into an IRA, my choice. And doing this, I must take an RMD on year 4. Is this true? I want to defer all of my MRDs into 2024 to reduce taxes. Please comment. Thank you for your help.
I want to defer all of my RMDs to 2024.
So if you're still working for the employer, maybe she was still working, she doesn't have to do the RMDs, right, Chris? If she
Or he.
Okay, so all right, so here's the
Explain
thing.
that.
If you're still employed, okay, then as long as you're working for that employer, you are not required to take your required minimum distribution. That's an exception, okay? I don't know what they're talking about, except maybe they're talking about maybe rolling it over to a Roth. If that's the case, you'd have to pay all the money up front. Since this is kind of sketchy, why don't you call us at the office at 632-7886. Anybody can call us at the office, 632-7886, and we'll talk about your specific situation. I know you'd like to, and if you're over the age of 73, for everybody else, your RMD has to be taken out before December 31st, or you would have a new penalty, 25% rather than 50%. And if you fix it right away at the beginning of the year, they'll drop it to 10%. So
yeah, one of my clients just texted me. She said she wanted me to tell you, Mom, that she loves to watch Roaming Wild Rosie. She can't stop watching it, and she thought you might like to watch it too.
I tell you the truth, I don't really watch television. I watch
but this is her streaming.
No, this is what I watch. I'm become like a streaming-aholic.
Well, I think she likes this too.
And
Cindy.
like today, here's my next tip here. Reduce your holiday expenses by doing family projects and giving them as gifts. What did we do today?
You saw on one of the videos that you've been streaming how to do pour painting and
on
swirl on glass. And it's beautiful. It's almost like God has a paintbrush and he just takes over.
We made all this beautiful stuff before we got to the radio show.
Yep.
Right?
We did.
And it's pour painting, P-O-U-R painting, not P-O-O-R.
Right.
But it's P-O-O-R too, but P-O-U-R, and it's just beautiful.
It's really
we got a text that says, is energy credits for a permanent generator put in?
No. Energy credits for a generator is not a qualified clean energy project. All right. But and the whole energy credit thing is completely different this year, and it's getting cold. So you want to do your new doors, windows, furnace, hot water tank, insulation. Make sure they're the highest SEER rating. If it's an appliance, and their qualified Energy Star, it's 30% with limitations up to $1,200 per year. So that's
right.
That's another great thing.
Which is, it used to be a $500 lifetime, and
All right,
so now
I got another minute here. So So instead of getting gifts this year, like maybe to grandkids, contribute to a 529 plan if you have New York State liability.
Correct.
That's good. By the way, getting back to that lady that asked about how much she could give to her grandchild, the $17,000, you can go over 17 if it's to pay for education or for medical.
Medical. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
And
right.
529 counts for education.
Right. Right. The other thing you can do is give to charities. It's tax deductible. And if you volunteer, your mileage is deductible as well. And it's good for the soul. Recycle your wardrobe. If you're going to give to charity, make sure you keep track of everything that you're giving away, right?
I just wanted to say that one rambling text. He did say that he was sorry, and he just wanted to say that
Big Brother's watching.
Big Brother's watching is what he's saying.
I know it's frustrating, and I want to tell you. You think Big Brother's watching? Wait till they get all done with this. What's going to happen to our to the money in the United States? You think we got problems now? Just wait. It's terrible. Anyway,
Sometimes you say to me, "I just don't want to scare you," but it's scary.
oh, it is absolutely scary.
It is.
I'm happy that I'm ready to die. Anyway, I'm Esther Gilius, the tax lady. Thanks for listening. We're going to wrap it up here for today. If you need us, you can call us at 632-7886. Go to egtax.com. Thanks for listening. Go Bills. Bye-bye.
Go Bills.